you've met me. You've met Armando. We're both very passionate, strong-willed people. And we have created a human that is 7 almost, who is exactly the same. So when there were differing opinions, it could get pretty explosive, which was no fun for anybody. And now it's just so much more peaceful.
So you found it, the soul of connection. If you're succeeding at everything except the relationships that matter most, this is for you. I'm Tressa Yonakawa, brain science, no fluff, real change. All right, deep breath. Okay, all right. I want to be really present with you because you've very quickly become one of my favorite people. And I didn't expect that when we first met. And for no other reason than that you're a very complex human being. And I want people to meet you in the way that I know you, which is that you are freaking brilliant. You are excessively talented. You hold a lot together, and you stay fairly reasonably grounded most of the time through it. I mean, we've all got our moments. You've got some moments. But, you know, the thing that I love about you and I want people to know is how it all comes together in such a talented package that is moderately to extremely harnessed, bridled, held by the responsibilities of being a mom, being a wife, being in a band that's amazing with great talent, being an actor, being someone who wants more, and you are limited, like so many, most people, by time and by what's available to you within the framework that you have. And you do such a good job of growing and learning things quickly and still being available and ready for that next big thing, the next, like whatever that is. And I totally see that in you. And I want to see you on every screen. I could listen to you sing for days. And it's such an honor really to show up where you were singing and working with your band yesterday. I was blown away, as were all of the people who came into the bar. And because I was so attentive, they kept asking me if I knew the band, and saying how good the band was. And they all loved you. Like, I had 7 people comment in that hour and a half that I was there about how remarkable you are, and they couldn't take their eyes off you. And that's star stuff. That's the thing. That's the it factor. So all that is an introduction to Shauna Leduc. Is that the name?
Sure.
All right. Is there another name?
When I'm acting, it's Shauna Rappold.
Shauna Rappold. Okay. Mm-hmm. So do you want to use Shauna Rappold? We can edit that.
I mean, I do both.
Okay.
It was a terrible decision to keep both names. It's bad with the pharmacy. It's bad with the doctor. It's bad at the everywhere. I'm like, what's your last name? I'm like, people think I have mental problems because I'm like, I don't know. I have 2. Which one do you want?
I do the same thing. I have a married name that I kept after I was not married any longer, because it was also my daughter's last name, and I didn't want them to feel othered. But then there's my name that I use, and so I never remember how I reserve hotels or like oh, it's not under that name, try this one. And then it does. It looks like we're crazy, or that we're like fishing for another name that's legitimate on the list. Yeah, but it's okay. So tell me what drives you, because you get up every day and you do the thing in the biggest ways. You're literally on stages, and you are an incredibly good mom. I've seen you in action. And you're the wife of a, I think, hurricane, you know, not as organized as a tornado, but as powerful, right? Is that accurate?
It's funny.
And I love it.
I've never heard of a tornado being like a compliment.
Right?
Like, not as organized. That's really great. I'm going to tell him he should aspire to be a tornado. That's great.
He's a force in nature. Let's,
No, that's true.
Very successful in his own right. And so you two are doing the power couple thing and figuring out how to make that work, being parents and having success and creating more. So how do you do it?
It's a lot. I'm a very organized person, like a very organized person, which is how I do it. Armando and I years ago decided that we were going to communicate via Google Calendar. I mean, not like day to day, like good morning, Google Calendar invite, good morning. No, not like that, but like as far as tasks or meetings or this or that, like we both live our lives on Google Calendar. Like I'm invited to things that he does, or I invite him to things I do, or that's just how I like schedule my things. I no longer carry, I was definitely an old school, had the big ass like
day planner?
Day planners.
Oh,
yes.
seriously?
I'm like, what are they?
Yeah,
I'm like, why am I about to say a trapper keeper? Because somebody was talking, but that's what it felt like. Like you're carrying this
90s?
giant thing that gave you like shoulder problems. In my purse. Right. But yes, I used to have like a planner and I would write everything down. I'm like, gah. So now it's Google Calendar. That's how I live my life.
So describe for people listening what your calendar might look like. Is it packed? Is there spaciousness?
No, there's definitely space. Because I definitely believe in balance. I definitely have a start and an end time to my work day. Work starts after I drop my daughter off to school or camp, and work stops after I pick her up from school or camp. Now, I mean, I'm a band manager as well, so musicians have crazy hours. So I'll get, random text messages. I'll send one out during those hours that I have set aside when my daughter's not around, but then I'll get responded to, at the wee hours.
Right. I was going to say 1, 2 in the morning.
Of the day. It could be like early, it could be late, it could be whenever. And so then I find myself responding then, but it's not like I'm going back to a desk because I do my best to be available to her when she's there. What was the original question?
Just how does
my calendar look?
Yeah.
Is there space?
Yes.
Sorry. I remembered as I'm asking. So, when I drop her off, I work. When I pick her up, I stop generally. And then it's, summer's a little bit different, but school, it was very strict. Like, okay, I pick her up. We run to Walmart. We go get our dinner for the night. I go home. While I'm cooking, she watches one television show to like unwind her brain. And I'm like, okay, turn it off. Now we sit down, we do homework. And then we eat dinner, and then it's off to gymnastics, or it's off to softball, or it's, or she doesn't have an extracurricular and she's like, Mommy, can you play with me? And so then we're playing. And then, then there's her bedtime and bath time, and that all takes about 2 hours because, what kid really wants to go to bed and miss out on all the fun.
Right.
And then sometimes I pass out in the bed with her, or sometimes I'm awake and I go take that time to unwind, and I will go either just sit downstairs in the dark,
rocking back and forth,
or I watch my guilty pleasures on TV. Right now I'm watching Dawson's Creek again because that was like my show in high school. I mentioned that to my nephew the other day, who's 17. And I said, oh, you should watch Dawson's Creek. Like, it's your age. And he's like, what are you talking about? Oh, man.
So sad.
It holds up. Born. You should watch it. Yeah. But yeah, and then sometimes I find time for myself. I've got gigs on the weekends, or, when it's volleyball season, I do volleyball once a week. Mm-hmm. And then, when Armando happens to be in town, maybe we'll go on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the modern family life. And I think it's hard. My girls are all over 20 now, so they're all on their own. But having kids at home and being responsible to feed them and make sure they're seen and safe. One of the things that my kids have said in the last 5 years is, you were a really good mom. We just didn't get enough of you. Right?
Yeah.
And so when I hear you making your child a priority, it makes my heart happy, because I didn't know that there was an option to working my ass off. I mean, I was a single parent for a lot of their time, but I didn't realize, because of the models that I had when I was growing up,
Sure.
that there was an option to constantly working. And so how did you learn or know or decide that you were making your child and time with your child and time for you a priority, which I know is not a perfect thing yet.
We're working on it.
Right. But you're working on it.
Yeah.
And you know that you get out of alignment when you don't have that time to go to the gym, to at least, be able to take care of you.
Notice I didn't even mention it in my timeline.
Right? That's why I'm bringing it up. So what is the importance to having a successful big life with a family involved, being a mom especially? What is the value of making that time for yourself? What do you notice when you don't?
Oh, when I don't, I'm definitely not as happy. I'm not as patient. I'm not as calm. So it is definitely, it's super important.
Super important, yeah.
And, I say this to people and they're like, oh, you're not old. And I'm not. But I'm an older mom. And so also I kind of, while I need to go to the gym because it's like my church. It's my de-stressor. It's my calm, whatever. I also need to go because I won't be able to keep up with her because she is an Energizer bunny. She was never, as a baby, she wasn't a napper. I did not have one of those kids that would nap for 2 hours a day. They're like, oh, we can't come to your birthday party because it's during nap time. I'm like, what's nap time? I never had nap time. What? Nap when your kid naps. My kid doesn't nap. I don't.
And you're not bitter about it, I can see. But
no. No, she just wakes up and just hits the ground running.
Are you the same way?
No.
Oh, I'm like that.
Armando is.
Yeah.
Armando will wake up and blast music and I'm like, no. I haven't had coffee yet. There needs to be a low hum. We can't, not yet. I need an hour before I hear loud noises.
I love that. I love when people who are very opposite tend to find each other, and then we spend the rest of our lives exploring why.
Yes.
In the best possible ways. So you and I have done some work together about how to communicate better with your child. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious, where is that at now? What have you discovered for you that is working to be closer to your daughter and to not have disruption and have to do repair kind of things? Because you picked it up so fast.
Yeah. It's great. Fortunately, I'm not going to say unfortunately. Fortunately, my daughter, can I be somewhat crass?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. If she could climb back up my vagina, she would. And it's always been that way. She's
with you all the time.
She would.
Yeah.
My parents are like, man, what do we have to do to cut the umbilical cord? Let us watch her or go out the moms.
Yeah, the mom's
night,
group.
and
Yeah.
I could not find a sitter. And they were like, we'll take her. And they had just had her overnight a couple of days prior, so I didn't even want to ask. I didn't even ask them. And they're like, no, you need to go, and she needs to be away from you. So they're like, we'll take her if necessary. So I say all that to say we already had a very close relationship, but you've met me. You've met Armando. We're both very passionate, strong-willed people. And we have created a human that is 7 almost, who is exactly the same. So when there were differing opinions, it could get pretty explosive, which was no fun for anybody. And now it's just so much more peaceful. I'm calm, number one. Like the calmness that I think most parents feel the frustration. Like it's funny because now I'm so aware of how different we communicate that I will look around, because I was my daughter's softball coach this season, and just observing the other parents talk to their children and seeing like meltdowns kind of happen all around me. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get involved, but it's just, we're not really having those anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, she still acts like a 7-year-old.
Sure.
For sure. And I still have to be like, Aria. But we resolve things so much faster now. And I stay calm and don't feel like I want to run my face through a wall. And then she feels heard and respected. And therefore she doesn't feel like she has to throw a tantrum, I guess, to feel like her needs are also being met.
Right.
So mine are getting met and hers are getting met, and we're both staying calm. And now I feel like we're closer to the dismay of some people. They're like, we're trying to get y'all more separated, and now y'all are just bonding more. I'm like,
I think
what are
that's
you gonna
healthy.
do?
I honestly think that's healthy. And the fact that she can stay away from you for a night without, panicking or having a meltdown or, having like separation anxiety, I think is a healthy sign too. So you're doing all the right things. And what I hear you saying is that you've been able to regulate yourself. You understand the tools of how your brain works, so that she has a model, because the model that she had before was of you not doing that as much. And so now you've learned and you understand and you use actively, which warms my heart more than I can possibly tell you, because when you've contacted me and said, okay, she's having a meltdown, and then I'm on the phone with you hearing how you handle it and you de-escalate it so beautifully, that is everything to a child's future and how they form relationships and what they do in the world and how they see themselves. So what you're doing is creating such a healthy internal environment, internal ecosystem, with and for your daughter. And they're like, it makes me want to cry, because it's so huge from where you were, because the models that you had were not of that.
Right.
Right. And so, and we bring in, all we know is what we know. Like if we don't have another model, or we don't hear that there's another thing that we can do, we don't understand how people have calm conversations when things get hard.
Right.
There are actually specific ways of talking to each other that make that possible. So for you, what do you see in your daughter? Do you see her being more calm?
Yeah, I've actually already seen her stand up for herself and someone else, like in real time at school.
Tell me.
And I'm like, so she's got a little boyfriend. Going
7.
strong. So they were boyfriend and girlfriend in kindergarten. However, in kindergarten she was kind of like, they were boyfriend and girlfriend, but he had a few. So she was kind of like a side piece. But he let them all go, and now, through first grade it was just her. But as they're getting older, they're getting smarter, and their vocabulary is growing, and they're communicating more. And this little boy definitely has a hard time listening. And he'll like talk over you, or he'll interrupt you a lot. And Aria was attempting to tell me a story about something that happened in school. And he kept interjecting, and she was like, Wilson, let me speak, please.
Ooh.
And I tried not to react in my face, but I was like,
proud mom moment.
And Wilson was kind of shocked. And I said, Wilson, I know that you want to also add to the story. And I said, I cannot wait to hear what you have to say. But yes, Aria is speaking, so let's let her finish, and then I will come to you. I promise you will be heard. And so he did stop. But she like said it like a Wilson. And stood. She got taller in the moment. I swear she grew like a foot. And we all just paused. I said, okay. And then she told her story and it was fine. But then there was another little kid that boys play different than girls. They're rougher.
Sure.
And after school, they all play at the field. And there's girls there, but Aria tends to be sometimes one of the only girls or one of very few among a whole bunch of boys. And they were getting rough, and she thought that one of them was bullying the other one. And she went up to a boy, and she's like, don't put your hands on him. We don't put our hands on people.
She's right. Yeah.
And then she came up to me, and she's like, that boy was bullying that boy. And I said, good for you. However, we do have to know that boys, that's kind of what they do, though. They do, like, push and wrestle. And so just, like, if you're going to do that, that's fine. I don't want you creating enemies, though, and I definitely don't want you accidentally getting pushed because you've stepped in. But, like, good for you.
Right, or check in with your perceived victim.
Right. Did you want that?
Yeah, right.
Did you want to be, like, shoved in the chest by that other boy? Yeah. So I definitely see her standing up, which is great. She's a force.
She's a force. Well, so are both of her parents. So one of the tools is, I hear you saying, right? And hearing you say that, I notice I feel. So when you heard her say that, how did you feel?
With the bully thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I was super proud. That was my first. I was like, oh, I'm so proud.
Mm-hmm.
She stands up for the underdog.
Yeah.
And then I basically do what you say. Like, that's great. I heard that you stood up for this person, but just, let's make sure that that's what they wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they'll be, she fights with this little boy all the time, her boyfriend. And so they're constantly coming to this, Aria did this, or little boy, I don't want to say his name, did that. And they come to, I'm standing right next to the mom. And so Mandy, well, the mom is also a therapist or a social worker. She's a social worker.
Yeah.
So I think she lets me speak first just to see what I'm going to say. but I will say, okay, well, what's the scenario? Because they will play this game where they get rough. And I said, okay, I know that y'all are saying that you guys put your hands on each other and so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that. I was like, but what are you playing? Like, what's the storyline here?
Mm-hmm.
And so then they tell me, I said, okay, well, in that storyline, that's what was supposed to go down. So maybe we don't play this game. Maybe we aren't really mad at each other. And they're like, yeah.
That makes so much sense.
And then they run off.
I love that. And, foundationally, they need to be doing those things. So to have the freedom to do that with the supervision and with the restructuring, with the I hear you,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what everybody wants is I hear and I see you. Mm-hmm. And I know when I do workshops and work with people, that's where people cry.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Because when we have an experience or when I create an experience of them being heard and seen.
Yeah, it's powerful.
It's powerful. And I know it's powerful for you. And one of the things that I know that is important to all of us, to I think hopefully most humans, is that I want to be heard and seen and appreciated. Right? Are those values for you? Are those things that you
for sure
need? Yeah. And how do you get that need met in a family that is literally moving so fast all the time? I have that perception of you. Maybe that's not accurate. I have a story that you all are in. You guys are always doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a true story.
Okay. All right. So because that's a true story, then how do you make sure that your need to be heard and seen gets met? Because you are the one fulfilling the parenting, the wifing, the schedule, the dropping off, I know Armando does, his part of that too. But how do you make sure? How do you ask for that? Or is it just a given? Does your family give you that?
It's different with different people, right? With Aria, she's again, about to be 7. I've gotten very used to doing things for her. Like, Mom, can you get me food or water or my shoes? And so I'll do the thing and I'll say, thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Mommy. It just becomes like a natural thing that I do. Now, thank you, Mom. Thank you. And she's starting to do it on her own now, because I think now it's like training a dog.
Right.
You give him a treat. Sit.
Right. I think, even with adults, though, my partner holds every door for me, which is amazing. And after 4 years now, I always say thank you. I always make sure to very intentionally say thank you, because I think just like saying I love you can become like a pass-through. Yeah, I love you. And we're not really there for it. It's just the words that come out because that's the pattern. And that part about getting present is one of the things that I wanted to talk about with you, because you have the extra practice of being very present on stage. You're listening and paying attention to everybody in the band. You do a lot of work at like celebrations and different things where there are a lot of people, and people will notice the one time you screw up more than the no screw up times, right? So as you're being present and practicing presence at home and work and all of those things, how do you do that? Like, is it intentional now? Is it more intentional now that we've been working together? Is it like...
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely more intentional now. I think, you're also working with Armando, but I think in the beginning it was more of, well, I did this. This was a lot of work.
Right. And then the pause. And you almost need to say, thank you, honey, right? Like, thank you, wife.
Right. He's gotten very good at recently. Those messages will come when he's not here, more so than when he's here.
Why do you think that is? What's your story about why that happens when he's traveling for work?
Because he knows that I have to be holding it down. So that's normally what the messages are. Like, thank you for holding it down, taking care of Arya, taking care of the dog, taking care of the house, doing your job, taking care of you, because he knows that he's physically not here.
And not able to
contributing.
Help.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, those messages definitely come. So he's definitely gotten good at that when he's not around, which is nice.
That is nice. And would you prefer that he would also do that when he is around? Do you need more of that?
I don't think so. I mean, it hasn't jumped off the page at me to that I feel like I need to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you need to be happy in a relationship?
Oh man, that's such a loaded question.
I think it is for everyone, because we have the routine answers, right? I just need to be loved and respected, or I need to be taken care of financially, and that, and for him to or her to be the one who's grilling the meat, whatever,
right,
or the mushrooms, but I think there are, like, you and I can talk about deeper levels of this. And I think it's important, because I think that we don't know what's available until we ask ourselves, what's important to me? What is success to me? What is a great relationship to me? Not just what I've seen and been sold, but what is it really? And until we stop and do that, we're just living on patterns that we've learned from other people who are not us. And also what we've seen media, marketing, education-wise.
Right.
So what is important to you? What is success to you? We can do that one first. What is success?
Relationship success?
Any kind of success.
Okay.
What is life success to you?
Peace.
Interesting.
Calmness. That is definitely life success. Having a child that wants to spend time with you, which I definitely have.
Yes, you do.
Having a purpose. Definitely having a purpose is life success for sure. I struggled with that, I guess, before I had Arya. However, I was doing a lot more acting at the time. I was also training, so I was finding some purpose in that because my genre of people were like people with injuries, so I was helping people like walk better. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
But peace, purpose. What's happiness? Oof. I guess having a partner to share the wins and the losses, right?
Yeah.
I guess I'd almost hate to say more so the losses, but that's when you find that you really need someone.
Right.
Right? Because when something amazing happens, it's much easier if you're single to just like call a friend.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I've heard you describe it really beautifully, really eloquently as I need you to show up through it all and stay,
Through the shit.
Yeah, and stay
Right.
present, especially when it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be a successful relationship for me. Someone that I know is going to be like a solid rock, no matter what, which I have in my parents.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that I've ever met anyone, and they're my parents. So, you know, lucky me.
Right.
A lot of people can't say that.
Right. They're doing their parent job.
But
well.
I mean, I definitely hit the parent lottery.
Yeah,
for sure. I tell them that all the time.
That's beautiful.
So
What in you do you have, like, who are you just inherently in your full alignment? What do you bring into the world that creates better connection with your child, with your husband, with everybody?
I'm a really good communicator.
I agree.
I cannot hide my emotions. And while that could seem like a negative to some people, I think that you always know where I stand. Like there's never a question of what I'm thinking or feeling, which I feel like is important in this world. I think that I am a natural born caretaker and nurturer. I have a hard time not doing that, and I feel like I overdo it. I mean, even with the band, you know, I was one of the first people to find out that my drummer's best friend was killed in a bar fight. Well, he called me. You know, I mean, granted, he had to sub out of some gigs, but he called me and just broke down crying on the phone. And we've had multiple conversations about this afterwards, me and this particular drummer. And he said, I don't act like that with people. I don't just cry.
Right.
But you're such a mother. He's like, and I know that you're more than that, but everybody kind of feels that way, that you're like, they've nicknamed me Mama Shauna. Mama Shauna. Mama say Mama Shauna, Mama Shauna, right? So it turned into Mama Shauna, but Mama Shauna, because they're like, you take care of all of us.
So what does that say about you?
That I'm a caretaker? I don't know.
Deeper.
That I have so much love to give? I don't know.
You're safe.
Yeah.
And
sure.
Yeah. That's a huge part of it. You've been present and you've developed emotional safety. You are that place where people can say anything to you and you'll be honest with them. And that creates that ability to be trusted. And it takes time. And when that's broken, it takes a long time to recover it as well. So I love that you are Mama Shauna. I love that a lot, and I can totally see why that's true. And you know, like last night, your almost 7-year-old, you know, just wanting to be cuddled, snuggled in with you at the table at a restaurant, and the more movement or rocking you had, the more she was like, oh, and just like became part of you. You know. So I understand what you were saying about, you know, she just wants to be with you, part of you all the time, and she also is very opinionated. She also has her own ideas about things. So when you are that safe person, and you're becoming extensively more of that for your daughter, because you're self-regulating, right? And so when people come to you because you're safe, and you, typically people who are that don't have a lot of people that can reciprocate that
Right.
at the level that you offer it. So do you ever feel lonely? Because that's a complaint or a truth that I've heard and felt, but I've heard it from lots and lots of people, mostly women, I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Totes.
And when that loneliness comes up, because we're not alone, but we feel lonely, and sometimes kind of isolated, and there can be that break where it's like, why isn't anybody stepping up to do this for me? But what I find is that we are terrible at asking.
Sure.
Is that true for you too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what would happen if you asked for that support more? What would that look like? How would you ask?
I've started to a little bit. It's uncomfortable.
Because?
Because I couldn't do it myself.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, I don't do things that I can't do myself, which is why this whole license plate on the back of my car.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Everybody's
So
like, well, you know, you did it. I'm like, I didn't.
talk about that, because it was like the mystery last night. It was so funny. Okay. So this woman was, if you can picture this, laying on the ground, looking under her car. Her 6-year-old daughter was also trying to lay on the ground to look under the car, searching for a tracking device. Yes, so good. While your husband was girly screaming about a rat that was on a garbage can. So this was like, this should have been a show. But you were looking for a device under your car because
I thought I was being followed. I'm like, in the back of my mind, I was like, oh my God, I have a stalker. Because there was suddenly a license plate on my car that there was only a temporary tag. Like, it was a temporary license plate. And I'm like, I didn't put it there. My husband didn't put it there. My parents didn't put it there. The police officer at first thought it was crazy, but I think having Aria stand next to me gave it a little bit of credibility.
So first, let's talk about how the police officer came into the picture.
Well, after I had asked Armando, and he swore up and down he didn't do it.
I could have sworn he did it. That would be like
because I was
something
like
he would
side-eyeing him. I was like,
Yeah.
did you?
Yeah.
Did you? And then after my parents were like, no, we promised it wasn't us. I was like, I don't. My mind, of course. I mean, I don't know if everybody's mind would have gone there, but you know, I watch too many movies, and I'm an actor, and my mind got away from me. I'm like, someone committed a crime.
Right. By putting a license plate on my car.
They committed a bad crime, and they took their license plate off of their vehicle, took my temporary tag off, put their license plate on my vehicle. I'm about to get framed for like drug trafficking or murder.
Oh, my brain didn't go there.
Or I was like, I'm going to go to jail for forever. Like, I didn't do, and I was like, I was just singing on Bourbon Street. Like, I didn't do anything. And so I was like, I don't want to drive my car. Like, I don't want to move my vehicle. This is like the scene of the crime. Mm-hmm. Like, a crime has been committed. Mm-hmm. Like, I was not getting in my car.
And the shows that you were in were police dramas, weren't they?
I mean, some of them.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
So then I was just like, and thank goodness I'm parked like right outside of a police station. So, and in my mind, I'm like, surely there's cameras. Like, they're going to catch whoever did this. Like, I will go look through the footage myself.
I will subpoena the camera.
I mean, I had multiple thoughts. And so Aria, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go down to the police station. Aria's like, ooh, this is what she said, an adventure. I want to come. And I was like, oh. And at first I was like, no, but then I thought she's going to make me look less insane. So I am going to take her. So we walk outside, and there happened to be a police officer in his vehicle. And so I'm like, tap, tap, tap. And he rolls down the window. I'm like, hi. So, and I just kind of go through the whole spiel. Like, there once was a temporary tag. Now there's a real license plate. Would you kindly run the plate so that, you know, I don't get framed for a crime I didn't commit? And he's on the phone, and he's like, And he's like, I'm going to have to call you back to whoever he was talking to. I'm like, I'm sorry. And I need to get you off the phone. He's like, no. Where are you parked? I'm like, right here. And so we walk like half a block to my car. And he goes, okay, so he looks at the back of my car. He's like, I see the license plate. I'm like, yeah. He goes, this was not there. I was like, this was not there. It was just like a temporary tag.
Yeah.
Because it just
paper tag.
Purchased this car.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a paper tag. And he's like, and you didn't put it on. I was like, I promise you. I did not put it on. He goes, did your husband put it on? He claims he didn't. I was like, my parents didn't put it on. And I was like, please run it because I didn't commit a crime. Like I was just so concerned. And he's like, okay. So he takes a picture and he goes, why don't you just stay here? I'm going to go run your plate. And he comes back out and he goes, I have good news and I have bad news. Which one do you want first? And I was like, the bad? And he goes, well, the bad news is I think you're stuck in the Matrix. And the good news is this car is registered to you. Like this plate, like he showed it. It was my name, my address, the type of vehicle. I said, okay, well then I'm going to drive my car. But we all know that this conversation happens.
And this is legal. I'm driving my car legally.
So yeah. Like this comes back to bite me in the ass. Like, you know that I told you that I'm innocent and all I did was sing in that bar. I didn't move this car. Once there was a tag and now there is a real plate. Come to find out, I talked to the guy who sold me the car. Apparently there was a plate on it when I parked it there. But he said that had a slow day and went, I guess it was the day prior, like before I left, and had changed it and put my registration in my mailbox.
And didn't tell you.
And didn't tell me.
Oh my gosh. But you had an adventure. Aria got to have an adventure for sure.
She's going to be so mad that I found out before.
And that it was not nefarious. She's going to be very disappointed.
But to be fair, he called me. So, well, he called me back. And I'm like, he called back. I didn't know it was him, which I didn't. I was like, what is this number? And they answered it and it was him. So, yes. So she'll be happy because she's like, should we be driving this car? Right. And I'm like, we didn't do anything wrong.
The whole, it's so brilliant how one story that you had in your head created this cascade of events that had you on the ground under your car,
right? Like they're following
in the dark, like right off Bourbon Street, right?
Right.
To see, right? And that is so. I love this story, and I love being part of it because that was hilarious. And your husband screaming about the rat.
Oh my gosh. And he scared the mess out of those people while you have to give us warning. And they didn't even know what he was screaming about. Right. That thing was huge, though. That was a big rat.
The giant rat standing, like, looking at you from the top of the garbage can. And, yeah, because it really elucidates how our brains work with the patterns that we have ingrained. Mm-hmm. Because to you, if something happened that you didn't do, it is a crime. Right? There's something terrible has just happened, even though it was that you didn't have to go pick up your license plate. And I'm not saying that my brain wouldn't go there too. I would be like, no, this needs an explanation, because our brains need to categorize things. We need to understand things. And if we don't, we will chase it down to the nth degree to have the safety of knowing what happened.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got in the car knowing full well that it was just Ari and I, but I turned around and I was like,
right. It created paranoia.
Nobody back there.
Right. And what if it was never solved? You would forever, when it came up, worry.
Yeah.
Right? It's fear. Actual fear comes up. The survival mechanism turns on in your brain and you can't help yourself but drop under the car with a flashlight or look in the back seat or, like...
What are we looking for? I don't know. Something that looks like it does not belong in a car. Like,
be nervous to open the trunk or, whatever that is. And, it's like our brains are so trippy that way. And we do that to each other. Like, we'll make assumptions and not have clarity.
Right.
I always think clarity is everything.
It is. The positive is that we were all looking at this from a humorous standpoint. Could you imagine if I was like...
Paranoid?
Yeah,
right.
Man, that would have been a totally different story. That is literally the difference between a comedy and a drama.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? They say, a drama, when, a couple gets mad at each other, it's just more like a surface level, annoyance.
Mm-hmm.
or like a frustration, but like if it's that same thing, but you want to turn it into a drama, it's like the be all, end all, and it's gonna end the whole relationship, right? So it was like totally the difference between a comedy and a drama last night, because we were like, what happened? An adventure. Like, let's go look for a tracking device under the car.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I know we're on the wrap up. That reminds me, I was talking to Chris Collins, who was a writer on like The Wire and Sons of Anarchy, and is just a really cool human being. And he was saying that you have to find what hell is, and you have to know what heaven is. And you have to make sure that you are, you know, having that feeling, that sense for people who are watching and experiencing this with you of what that is and how we get from one to the other. And that's a really, I love that so much. Are you going to be doing more acting? I hope
so. I mean,
yeah, I want to see
need the opportunities.
Yeah, I want to see you everywhere. I want your daughter to be a stage daughter, and instead of the opposite of stage momming.
Maybe one day she'll think I'm cool.
Yeah, right. Maybe. And so, is there anything? The question I usually ask people to wrap this up, and then I'll ask where we can find you, and how you want us to find you, if you want us to find you, with new license plates or not.
Right.
But what do you want to reverberate through time from this moment forward? What do you want for everybody to hear that comes only from Shauna? What is that? What do you believe more than anything?
That you never know what somebody else is going through. So be kind.
Yes, more of that. Especially when you're driving, people.
Especially when you're driving.
But all the time, yes. Yeah. I love that so much. So if you want people to find you, where would they find you?
I'm on Instagram. I think it's Shauna_Rappold. Like, I don't even...
We'll have it in the notes.
Yeah. I think it's Shauna_Rappold. Let's see. Yes, Shauna_Rappold. On Facebook, it's Shauna Rappold Leduc, probably.
Yeah, and brilliant. You are talent extraordinaire. And is that what you want to be known for? Acting, being an amazing singer and musician, I'm going to say, vocally. Like you integrate with your band so beautifully. And I was telling you yesterday, you're the first person I've ever seen on stage live in an intimate setting that I wasn't uncomfortable watching you not singing when somebody else was taking the lead. It was brilliant.
Thank you.
So is that how you want to be known, or how do you want to be known?
That's a tough question. How do I want to be known? Just that I was a good person. I mean, at the end of you can't take it with you at the end of the day. Would I love to only be an actor and a singer to pay all of my bills and live a very comfortable life in retirement and just be a great mom? Like, yeah, great, sure. Do I need to be known for it? I don't think that I need to be known for it.
That's a good distinction. I love that, because there feels like, when you said that peace is a part of who you are inherently and who you want to be, that would be the peaceful option.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
To not have to be famous, but to be fulfilled by the work, and the work being fulfilling in the world that you put out. Right. I love that so much. And I love you so much. I am so grateful.
I love you.
Thank you for being.
And we didn't even talk about you, but
no, this is about you.
But you're a beautiful person. You're probably the most beautiful person I've ever met.
Oh,
you've got the biggest heart, the most patience. If you can handle me, you can handle anybody.
You're easy, girl. Easy. But yeah, thank you so much, because I want people to know you the way that I know you. So thank you. I appreciate you being here.
Of course.
You dove in. This is the Soul of Connection. Subscribe now. Stay close. Your full life depends on it.